Welcome to another Vox Markets webinar, and we're delighted to have Sukh Chamdal, CEO, and Pardeep Das, CFO of CBOX, who'll be presenting their half-year results for the 6 months ended the 30th of September. At the end of the presentation, Sukh and Pardeep will be available to answer any questions you may have. If you do have one, then please submit them using the function on the right of the screen. Right now, I'll hand over to Sukh and Pardeep.
Good afternoon, Justin. My name is Sukh Chamdal. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Egg-Free CBOX. I co-founded the concept in 2008, and I co-founded the franchise business with Pardeep Das in 2009. I come from a background of 35 years of experience in the food industry, both retail and manufacturing. I have done high volume catering, as well as manufacturing and supplying vegetarian foods for functions and events.
My name's Pardeep Das. I'm the Chief Finance Officer for CBOX. Co-founded the business with Sukh in 2009 when we decided that we wanted to franchise the business. I'm a qualified accountant, and I qualified whilst I was working for Starbucks Coffee Company. Got more than 20 years experience within the food and beverage industry as an accountant.
I'm proud to say that we now operate from 3 sites across the UK, totaling over 50,000 square feet. We continue to grow our shop estate and have hit 174 stores. This allows us to offer our delicious egg-free products to more of the population to enjoy. We offer a variety of methods to order our products, which includes a 1-hour click and collect. You can collect in person at the shop, or you can get the products delivered. On this slide, you can see a selection of our mouth-watering offerings, from our birthday cakes to our grab-and-go cake slices and cupcakes. It also shows our other offerings, such as our indulgent cheesecake selection and our tea time treats, such as loaf cakes. Here, this slide shows our franchisee proposition. With an average of 93k EBITDA potential earnings, I believe we offer a very good proposition to our potential franchisees, who are also enticed by the sociable hours and our turnkey package. One of the biggest attractions is, unlike the normal franchise offering, we do not charge a management service fee or a marketing levy. We also run the website, the B2B one-stop ordering, and they have access to our brand. The slide shows our franchise application process, which is quite simple. Application is received from the franchisee. Then an application form is sent out to them. Once we're received and they're approved, they will be invited to a presentation at head office. If they pass this presentation, we will call them back for a second interview, 1-to-1. This enables us to get to know them and they get to know us. If they are selected from this process, we go into site selection with our senior team, who will help the franchisee locate a premises in their area. Once a suitable premises has been located, we will help them with the legal process. We have a presentation which we send to the landlords, and we have our own solicitors who are now very specialist in what we require. Once the legals are done and we receive the key, we will start the store build, and in the meanwhile, the franchisee will start their training. Once the store has been built and the training has been completed, we'll have a pre-opening marketing presentation, and the store will open.
So just moving on to the financials for the half year. We're an excellent half year. Revenue has increased to 16.5 million from 8.6 million. That's up 92%. Gross profit is up 7.6 million or 83%. And our EBITDA has more than doubled to 4.1 million. Now, this is against a backdrop of where we were closed for 6 weeks in the previous half year. So to make it easier to read these numbers and make them more comparable, we've done a 4-month comparison, which strips out the closure period. And even in those measures, you can see that revenue, gross profit, and EBITDA has gone up by more than 50% on each of those measures. So really stellar half year. Earnings per share at half year at 7.5p, that's more than doubled. Net assets of £12.6 million, so our balance sheet's gone up by about 30%, and cash at bank is at £5.6 million. Net cash and cash at bank both going up about 400,000. Now that doesn't seem a lot, but what happened last year was that we paid these final dividend as a special dividend after the half-year period. So if you strip that out, we're actually at comparing 4.2 million net cash this year against 2.5, so it is up substantially.
And if we go to the next slide, this shows our operational highlights. With our continuous growth, we have added another 35 stores to our portfolio, with 20 new stores added in the period. We have gone into partnership with Asda to bring our products to their customers with 7 new locations. Due to our forward planning, we have experienced very little disruption to our supply chain, with more than 3 months stock on most items. And to satisfy our customers who wanted less cream on our cakes, we successfully launched our naked cake range, which is also bang on the trending at the moment. And if we go to the next slide, this is the franchisee operational highlights. Once again, I'm happy to report that the franchisee like-for-like has risen along with the total turnover. Online growth has also risen along with the amount of multiple store owners, showing increasing ambition among our franchisees to own more than one store. And their average sales have also risen along with their average EBITDA to an excess of 93k. And if we go to the next slide, this shows our distribution of stores, shopping centre kiosks, and Asda kiosks across the country. It also highlights the gaps where we have potential to open more stores, such as Scotland, Wales, the North East, and the South West. It also shows the distribution of our distribution centres. The blue Enfield in London, we have our Coventry and our Bradford distribution centres, serving all the shops along that corridor. And our next slide is the financial review, which I hand over to Paddy.
Thanks, Suk. So we presented a more detailed set of numbers here. As we mentioned, that revenue has gone up 92% year on year and 50% on a more 4-month basis. Our gross profit has come down slightly by 200 basis points. Now, we expected that because we had a lot more store openings. We opened 20 stores in the first half, and the margin on new store openings is a lot lower than our day-to-day activity, which is providing sponge and cake ingredients, which are at higher percentage. So we do expect that to come down when we open more stores. And we've also got an increase in administrative expenses as we employ more and more senior managers and investing for the future growth of the business. Moving on to the balance sheet, we've got a strong balance sheet. All our properties freehold, and our net asset value has gone up in line with our profitability. And a lot of the other key measures are fairly static from year end. On the group cash flow, we've got an influx of cash from operating activities, so £3.7 million worth of cash from operating activities. And you can see that from a full year last year, it's risen substantially from the full year of £4.2 million. So in just half year, we've managed to generate 3.7. So overall cash hasn't gone up substantially from year-end position, and that's because of the special dividend that I mentioned, which we've paid obviously in July this year. So that's fallen in the half-year period. Just looking at a couple of strategic initiatives, as Suk mentioned that we're very satisfied and happy with our relationship with Asda. We trialled 7 kiosks in 2021. And since our half year, we were able to open 4 further kiosks within Asda. So you can see that, that's quite a rapid growth and a rollout program. And we're intending to open a lot more kiosks within Asda. through the course of FY22. The good news is that some of the fit-out cost is being covered by ASDA, so the franchisee is receiving a contribution towards that, and it's fairly low cost to fit up and set up a kiosk within ASDA, and all the sales go through our franchisee tills as opposed to ASDA tills, so we're able to generate revenue a lot more quicker for our franchisees. We've got a record number of deposits from our franchisees for territories that have been secured. We've actually got 62 different deposits for areas. Now, these deposits at various stages. Some have just put in their deposit. Some of our franchisees are looking for shops, and some of the franchisees are about to build their first or their multiple shops. So we've got a record number of deposits, and that should see us opening more and more shops in the coming months. I'll hand you back to Suk.
We are investing for the future by strengthening our senior management. We have appointed an IT director along with several other appointees. We're happy to say that we've appointed a food safety team, which includes food technician, a HACCP manager, production manager, and we are improving all our IT security infrastructure. And we've also appointed BDO as a internal audit process, so that makes the full year audits go a lot easier. With the demand, with our forward planning and our supply chain, we've also hired additional warehouse space in Enfield, where we can store the bulk products which we get from the Far East, such as boards and boxes, further strengthening our supply chain mechanisms. And if you have a look at the current outlook, the outlook's very good, with us confident of meeting our full year goals with up to 32 new store openings to full year, which are boosted by 3 new stores opening the last 5 weeks since half year end. And as I mentioned, our supply chain is very robust, and we are very confident of meeting our full year expectations. Thank you very much for sharing this presentation, and we're ready for any Q&A.
Excellent, guys. Well done for the presentation. Do you know what? You should be sitting down now, having a cup of tea and a cake, maybe. There's no time for that because we've got lots of questions from investors here. So let's get through them. Suk, Paddy, join us right here with the questions. And first one up is you've had amazing online success in a relatively short space of time. Can you please expand on the strategy for online and what is driving these numbers, Suk?
We provide our customers with various routes to buy our product: in-store, online, click and collect, delivery. By allowing the customers all these choices, we build brand loyalty and the convenience to get a cake when and whatever time they want to get it. We consider ourselves the Amazons of the cake industry. We provide you cake when you want it at your convenience. You don't have to pre-plan. Just walk into one of our shops and pick up a cake and get it personalized. Go online while you're at work, click and collect on your way home. So we make this so easy for the customer, and that's why we got a steady business. 68 million people in this country, 365 days in the year. That equals 180,000 birthdays every day, and we haven't even scratched at the surface. So allowing all this access to cake, we will drive all these numbers.
You know what, you sold me. Stop mentioning cake so much. It's like I honestly almost salivating there. Okay, the next question. Franchisee turnover has seen a rapid rise. Is this purely due to more franchisees, or has there been an increase in sales by franchisees too? Or are there any particular areas that exceed others?
Well, with our ever-increasing presence on the high street, in shopping centres, ASDA, and online, our brand awareness is increasing, which in turn fuels the sales from the stores. I'd just like to expand on the ASDA bit, or where we're now gone with kiosks into ASDA, which is a bolt-on for the franchisee. They're manufacturing the store, deliver to the Asda and sell. And we're now being exposed to a much bigger database of customers or who would never have heard of us, and now who walk past our beautiful displays in store and they have a cake, a slice of cake, and they graduate to a birthday cake, which they order from in stores.
Yeah, huge exposure. Talking about the rapid rise in franchisees here, they said, is there a saturation point of franchisees? Can growth be sustained there?
We have huge gaps in our coverage across the country. Oh, we've only got one in Wales, one in Scotland, the southwest, the northeast, or East Anglia, or we're far from saturation yet.
Okay, all right. And you state you've had no supply chain issues. How are you succeeding here where larger players are failing?
We buy our packaging from the Far East, so we normally have about 9 months of stock, and the minimum we carry is 3 months of stock. So riding out this storm is no problem, and we don't operate a just-in-time system, so any delays can be absorbed quite easily.
Yeah. And future geographical targets, someone's asking here, are you looking further afield?
Yeah, it's on my wish list, and I would like to be everywhere. And if we do go abroad, or my probably first targets would probably be in North America.
Okay. And someone wants to know more about Asda, how the partnership works. It says the
That's
potential
right.
here seems huge there.
So we rent a space from Asda, or they fit it out for us. We provide the equipment. The franchisee serves at the franchisee staff serves at the kiosk. The money goes through our tills, and so we got full control of our product, our displays. Unlike some other or operators who are in Sainsbury's, who just plonk their goods in next to Sainsbury's goods, and that's it. We take full care, so we got full control of the full supply chain there.
Yeah. And you were saying just before we went on there, Asda have 650 stores nationwide. I didn't know that it was that many. That's amazing. So exposure there is huge, isn't it? Next question here. I understand maybe to Pardeep, maybe I understand that you need to strengthen your team as you grow, but can you explain your rationale of the senior hires and what you see them bringing to the company?
Yeah, Justin, we've got 200 locations now. So with that, we're setting up a structure of area managers, and we need to strengthen our middle management team. Later on, we're going to be appointing a chief operating officer that will head up the area managers and make sure that our strategy is cascaded down all the way down to the franchisee level. We're also strengthening our marketing department. As you know, we're quite light on marketing because we do it just for brand awareness at the moment. But if we get a specialist in, we can look at tracking customers, we can set up an app, we can give them reminders and notifications. And lastly, about a couple of months ago, we appointed an IT director. So we're looking at our systems, our IT systems, making sure that they're robust and that they all talk to each other. And that's one of the things that the IT director will be doing. So all these posts will be paying for themselves eventually and bringing in a lot more quality to the business.
Yeah, absolutely. You are paying a dividend and have net cash. What are your future investment plans?
Well, we're fortunate because we are cash generative, being a franchise business. And whilst we do need a buffer of cash in case there is a small acquisition that comes through. Look, our property is freehold. We like to buy freehold and keep the costs of running that property as low as possible. But if we don't purchase any building, or what we can do is we can return some of the funds as a special dividend to our shareholders, and we wouldn't rule out share buybacks.
Yeah. Next question is: are you looking at future M&A?
We're not actively looking at future M&A because just in the past 1 year we've added more than 35 high street locations, more than 15 kiosk locations. So that's 50 new sites and locations in just a space of 12 months. That in itself, to me, is a mini acquisition.
Yeah. And one personal question for me: when you create a new cake, there, guys, do you both try it, or do you think I've had too much cake in the last week, or you got to try it?
In last week, I've tried 15 different variations, and in one day, in one sitting, I had to try 7 different ones. But that is my job. I call that quality control, and I personally test every product before it goes out.
Yeah, I tell you what, guys, I can think of an excellent marketing idea for you. Just advertise for a cake taster. You would be overrun. That would hit the national press and everything. I think that's a good idea there, and I'd certainly apply for it.
You're going to apply for it, aren't you, Justin?
Yeah, it'll have to be part-time though, because I bring it too heavy. Guys, thank you very much for that. That's all the questions we've had in, and hopefully we'll catch up in the not too distant future. Thanks very much.
Right. Thank you very much.
You.
Thank you.